After 3 car accidents, multiple...
We're gonna watch this one. Alright, so... Oof. I've been lacking on, like, trying to watch, like, the Tiger Woods stuff, though, but... Gosh dang. This is 40 fucking minutes, dog? Alright. I guess we're doing it.
Multiple DUIs and
Alright, so... Last I remember with the... Well, he got into another car accident, so... I guess we'll just, see what's up.
a massive cheating scandal, there is an uncomfortable conversation surrounding Tiger Woods that many fans and his peers are actively trying to avoid. Tiger is a real-life hero to millions of people around the world. His legacy and impact spans generations, and he got there by remaining extremely disciplined on the course. But off the course, his life is the exact opposite. Behind the trophies and the carefully protected image was a man self-destructing, lying to the people closest to him, falling victim to his vices, and putting innocent people's lives at risk. Tiger's story is not just about greatness. It's also about what happens when someone becomes so powerful that the world starts making excuses for behavior that would destroy almost anyone else. If Tiger Woods didn't become a sports icon, you could easily interpret his upbringing to be just as brutal as the count.
I thought it was funny when, like, freaking it all came out about Tiger Woods and everything. Like, some people didn't think that Tiger Woods was, like, this guy that went out and got a bunch of bitches and stuff like that and stuff. But it's like, there was only, like, I do remember when the rapper The Game tweeted, like, oh, man, Tiger's real. And no one fucking believed him, though. And then when all that shit came out, he tweeted again. He's like, I told y'all. Because, like, honestly, I feel like even if it's like no matter what kind of truth you tell people and shit, it's like they won't believe you until like the truth actually comes out, you know?
Child stars who were pushed into fame before they were old enough to understand it could ruin their life. Tiger wasn't really raised to discover who he was. He was raised to perform, to win, and to carry the expectations of his father, Earl Woods. Earl implemented discipline tactics he learned from his time in the US Navy to train his son to be a golfer. His mother said when he was 18 months old, he would go to the driving range, and when he was done hitting, I would put him back in the stroller and he'd fall asleep. Earl reached out to local news organizations in Southern California for stories to be broadcast about Tiger, touting him as a child prodigy.
His name is... Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Eldrick Tiger Woods, and since he was 8 months old, he's been playing golf.
From there, Earl got his son a nationally broadcast daytime television spot on the Mike Douglas Show.
God damn, even as a kid.
And every few years after that, there would be another news story about the future superstar Tiger Woods would become.
This is Eldrick Tiger Woods. And Eldrick is an accomplished golfer. He wins tournaments on a regular basis and has shot close to...
I want to see about changing the... What is that? 1080. It's already at the max 1080. Okay. That's like 1080. Auto 1080 HQ.
Par on 18-hole courses. Incredibly, Tiger here
is
only 5 years old.
Earl spoke of his son as if he were a divine creation meant to change the world. I know that I was personally selected by God himself to nurture this young man and bring him to the point where he could make his contribution to humanity. Now, Earl wasn't physically abusive like other child prodigy parents, but he was putting in overwhelming pressure on Tiger to succeed.
He would get in my grill. It'd really make you feel insignificant.
Failure was never an option. Fortunately, he was able to meet expectations. Tiger was the youngest player to win the US Junior Amateur title at 15 and the first to win 3. But the pressure wasn't just to play good golf. At 15 years old, he had the expectation to become a cultural icon to the level of Michael Jordan.
Since I'm black, it might be even bigger than Jack Nicklaus.
I never even knew they gave him interviews as a kid. God damn.
I might be sort of like a Michael Jordan in basketball.
Dude, where do you find all this old footage, dude? Jesus.
The world is ready for a non-white golfer to be successful.
Earl famously dubbed Tiger as the chosen one. Tiger will do more than any other man in history to change the course of humanity. I don't know exactly what form this will take, but he is the chosen one. He'll have the power to impact nations, not people, nations. The world is just getting a taste of his power. Now, Earl would sound absolutely crazy if he didn't end up being kinda right. Today, even people who know nothing about golf know who Tiger Woods is. But it's not like he's overhyped or the product of some marketing campaign. Even die-hard fans of golf know how special he was on the course, and that his controversies are likely the only reason why he didn't continue to dominate the
and it gave him a fucking South Park episode.
field for the entirety of the 2010s. What Tiger was able to accomplish in the first 15 years of his career will likely never be repeated in the history of the game, starting with college. Woods won roughly 42% of the tournaments he competed in while attending Stanford University, winning 11 of the 26 he entered. In his final year, he won 8 of the 13 tournaments in which he competed. But it's not just about getting first place, it's how he was winning. In the Pac-10 championship, he won by 14 strokes. The 54-hole event lasted 2 days, with 2 of the rounds being played in 1 day, meaning they played 36 holes of golf, roughly competing for about 10 hours straight. And in that day, he broke the course record twice, shooting a 61 in the morning and dropping a 65 in the afternoon. He showed similar performance at the 1996 NCAA championship. He broke the course record of 67 during his second round, and heading into the final, he was leading by 9. In his final round, he shot 80, or 8 over par, which was terrible for him, and he still won by 3 strokes. 1 month later, he dropped out of college to turn pro. Nike immediately signed him to a historic $40 million endorsement deal, which made other pros extremely jealous.
I guess hello world, huh?
Woods entered his first PGA Tour event with the expectation to win, and the golf media thought he was crazy.
A victory didn't offer much to.
A victory. To me, that comes off as a little cocky or brash.
Why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win?
You'll learn.
Now, although this interviewer seems like he has a stick up his ass, you have to understand that winning on the PGA Tour is something the overwhelming majority of professional golfers never accomplish. Some players spend 15 years on tour, make millions of dollars, and still never hold a trophy. Brett Quigley played more events than Tiger in his entire career and never won once. But Woods secured his first professional victory less than 2 months after he joined, in just his 5th professional start. Over the next few months, he racked up 2 more wins, but he truly set the tone for the career he was about to have at the 1997 Masters, the very first major tournament he ever won.
And then he probably went out and found someone to go fuck.
Now, if you don't know golf, it's not structured like other sports where there is one final championship at the end of the season. Instead, there are 4 prestigious tournaments per year that are called majors. These events are played on much more difficult courses where the stakes are much higher and the payouts are much larger. The Masters is the first major played of the year, and it's the most popular of them all. Tiger won the 1997 Masters by 12 strokes, which is still the largest margin of victory in the tournament's history. He also became the youngest Masters champion ever.
These meals changed everything for me. I'll admit it, I was skeptical about ready-to-eat meals, but
there it is, a win for the ages.
From there, the Tiger takeover was in full effect. By 1999, he was stacking wins at a pace the sport had almost never seen, winning 8 PGA Tour events in a single season, including a second major win, the 1999 PGA Championship. Then came 2000, which is still widely considered one of the greatest individual seasons in sports history. Tiger won 9 times that year, including 3 majors. His US Open win at Pebble Beach was especially absurd as he won by 15 strokes, which remains the largest margin of victory in modern major championship history. But the achievement that truly separated him from everyone else is now dubbed the Tiger Slam. In 2000 and 2001, he became the only golfer in history to win all 4 major championships in a row: the US Open, Open Championship, the PGA Championship, and then the Masters the following year. To put that in perspective, only 6 golfers have won all 4 majors in their entire career. Tiger won all 4 in a row. He was simply better than than the entire sport for years. He hit the ball further, his iron play was the best the sport had ever seen, and his putting was elite. In a field full of chubby old men, Tiger was young, lean, strong, and implementing workout regimens similar to basketball and football players. He inspired an entire generation of golfers to follow his standards, which is why the field is much better and more competitive today. In 2002, he won 5 times, including 2 majors, becoming only the 3rd player in history at that point to win back-to-back Masters. Over the next few years, winning became normal. He would more often than not have to explain to the press why he didn't win. In 2006, he won 7 events in a row. The following year, he won 5 in a row. I have to reiterate because this might not sound impressive for other sports fans.
Like, why did you win this time, Tiger? I don't know.
20-game winning streaks, but in golf, you almost never see someone win multiple tournaments in a row. It's extremely.
Could you imagine Tiger was like freaking one of his excuses, like, oh yeah, no, I just didn't, you know, I had a tummy ache, you know. That's why I didn't win this tournament, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I just got to blame it on the tummy ache. I don't know.
Rare to even see a back-to-back winner. It's actually been 3 years since it's happened. But statistics only explain a part of his legacy. Tiger changed how golf felt. Before him, golf was perceived as a boring, quiet sport built on patience and politeness. Tiger brought an intensity that didn't exist before. The fist pumps, the cold stare downs, his presence alone changed tournaments.
I love to compete, whatever it is. You and I could be playing cards right now and just want to kick your butt.
You'd want to win.
No, I want to kick your butt. There's a difference.
I want to kick your butt.
Patrons would swarm around him, following him the whole round, completely uninterested in the rest of the field.
Even
because
in a
of
fucking
that,
card
the crowd
game.
cheering for him was significantly louder. Players could be on
Teach that man some Yu-Gi-Oh, man. He'll kick your ass. He'll fucking probably use like fucking cyber dragons or some shit.
on the complete other side of the course and hear the noise and rumble from the crowd,
Or
knowing that Tiger had just done something ridiculous. They called it the Tiger Roar, and most other players couldn't handle the pressure.
When he's in that zone, it can be so unnerving that his opponents sometimes self-destruct.
You're aware of that intimidation that you have?
I'm aware if I'm playing at my best, I'm tough to beat, and I enjoy that.
But it wasn't just that he was winning, he was making it exciting, giving us iconic moments that the game is missing today. His chip in on the 16th hole at the 2005 Masters, where the ball paused dramatically on the lip before dropping, became one of the most famous shots in sports history. At the 2008 US Open at Torrey Pines, Tiger was playing with multiple stress fractures in his leg and a torn ACL, limping his way through 91 holes before beating his opponent in a playoff.
God damn! The motherfuckers in pain, kicking their asses.
Expect anything different?
Dude.
Fans who had never cared about golf were suddenly watching on Sundays, and therefore TV
I want to see Tiger Woods.
Neil Pilson, the former president of CBS Sports in the United States, once estimated that Woods contributed to a 30 to 35% ratings increase when he played. Tiger is also the reason why PGA players make way more money today. In the 1996 season, when Woods joined late that year, the total prize money amounted to $101 million.
Dude, no wonder he's still in the tournaments, man. They're like, oh man, just fucking put Tiger in there. We need the ratings. Even if he doesn't win. Because it's like, I don't think Tiger wins as much as he used to.
Between 1997 and 2008, the total prize money rose by an average of 9.3% per year, bringing the PGA Tour's purse to $292 million by 2008. And between 1997 and 2009, Tiger Woods won 71 PGA Tour events and 14 major championships before turning 34. He was on pace to beat basically every record in history within the next few years. However, off the course, very little was known about Tiger Woods. He didn't invite the media to his house, and he infamously named his 150-foot yacht Privacy, sending a message that his personal life was off limits. But then one magazine article released that turned into one of the biggest scandals in sports history and was the start of his downfall. In November of 2009, the National Enquirer was about to publish a story alleging that Tiger Woods was having an affair with a woman named Rachel Yucatel. Tiger caught wind of this and warned his wife, Elin Nordegren, that the story was coming out and he had only met Rachel at 1 or 2 social gatherings. He even put Elin and Rachel on the phone together, which was a way of somehow proving his innocence. Regardless, Elin was still justifiably suspicious, and once the National Enquirer ran the story, it included details about a secret trip he took to Australia with Rachel. On Thanksgiving night, Elin and Tiger had an argument which ended by Tiger taking some Ambien and going to sleep. Around 1 a.m., Elin grabbed
Then there's
Hey Meta, play quite gorgeous.
I'm waiting for him to talk. I'm waiting for him to talk about Thanksgiving.
Choices. They make us who
Because
we
that
are.
shit
But
happened
they
on
aren't all
Thanksgiving where he's
created
like
equal.
fucking drive off, fucking hit a
Karen
tree
is-
shit.
Grabbed Tiger's phone and saw a text message from Rachel that read, "You are the only one I've loved." Elin sent text messages pretending to be Tiger to Rachel that read, "I miss you," and asked, "When are we seeing each other again?" Rachel replied back, assuming it was Tiger, and then Elin called the number. Once she heard Rachel's voice, it was all the confirmation she needed that Tiger was cheating, and chaos erupted. She simply exploded, trying to hit him on the chest and arms with her fists, and then finally chasing him from the house while she wielded a golf club. Shoeless, he ran into the car and barreled out of the driveway before careening off a fire hydrant and then smashing into a tree. Now, this minute-by-minute breakdown of what happened that night was given to the Daily Beast by a source close to Elin.
Yep.
And the next part that is
And then
particularly
South Park
debated
came out with
is
that
why
episode.
the rear window of Tiger's vehicle was smashed out. It likely could not have happened from the crash, which implies that Elin smashed the back window out with the golf club that she was allegedly holding. However, it is debated as to when it happened. Most people say she did it while chasing Tiger out of the house. However, Elin says that she smashed the back window out after he crashed to climb into the car and save him. From there, a concerned neighbor heard the accident and immediately called 911.
I have someone
So, yeah,
down in front of my house. They hit a
save him.
pole.
But what was Tiger doing?
At that point, he was snoring.
He was snoring.
He was actually snoring.
Did you smell any alcohol in him?
No alcohol, no any other kind of drug whatsoever.
Did you get close enough that you would think you would have smelled it had he been drinking?
Yes.
As for Tiger's injuries, a bloody lip.
Nothing on his shirt, nothing on his hands.
Damn.
I was holding him still at one point, and I didn't get any blood on me.
Wood's wife, Elin, was kneeling beside him.
She was actually very quiet, just kind of in shock. It wasn't very verbal.
It's also important to consider that at the time of the crash, nobody knew the story that built up to it. They just knew he had an alleged cheating scandal, and then a few days later, he was in a car accident, which made tabloids try as hard as they could to poke and prod into his life to connect the dots. He tried to get out in front of it with his first public statement. "This situation is my fault, and it's obviously embarrassing to my family and me. I'm human and I'm not perfect. I will certainly make sure this doesn't happen again. This is a private matter and I want to keep it that way. Although I understand there is curiosity, the many false, unfounded, and malicious rumors that are currently circulating about my family and me are irresponsible." But everything was about to unravel like he could never imagine. One day later, Us Weekly magazine reported that they discovered a second mistress. Jamie Grubbs, now 24, tells Us Weekly she began having an affair with Woods, age 33, in April of 2007. She said they went on to have 20 sexual encounters. In order to prove her affair was real, she leaked a voicemail that Woods left her asking her to help him cover up his cheating.
Can you please take your name off your phone? My wife went through my phone and maybe call me. So if you can, please take your name off that and what do you call it? Just have it as a number on the voicemail. Just have it as your telephone number. Okay, you gotta do this for me.
It turns out Jamie leaked the voicemail out of jealousy after she found out that she was not the only woman Tiger was cheating on his wife with.
He constantly called me and talked to me and, told
how
me
many
he was
were there?
cheating,
I forgot.
that,
What was there, like
gonna be
10?
Me and him.
She now knows
10?
he was making those
12?
same sort of promises to as many as a dozen other women.
That's
If I
right.
was with him
Okay,
and he was
thought so.
texting,
A dozen.
He would physically show me a text message or tell me who it was. So I never thought he was lying to me.
I was
And
forgot
then,
it was
you
a
know,
dozen,
I
man.
asked him at some points,
I was just
"Are you-
exaggerating,
when
but
you go
yeah, it
somewhere
was a
else, do you have
dozen,
another
wasn't
girl?" And
it?
he's like, "No, I'm too busy. I don't have time for that." And then he's just like, "I just like being with you."
Tiger decided to publish a second statement to his personal website in which he conceded to
Transgressions
have
of
not
all
been true to my values and the behavior my family deserves, although he doesn't directly acknowledge any type of affair during this statement. But every day there was a new woman coming out saying that they had slept with Tiger Woods. Within 2 weeks of the car accident, the list of mistresses had climbed to 11. Jocelyn James, star of Prawn Star Brides, joins a lingerie model, an unnamed television broadcaster, a pancake waitress with a
Oh, mom's messing with that. I'm gonna let her mess with that.
thing for X in parking lots, and a host of women who spend lots of time.
I was like wondering. I'm like, what is that sound? I was like, where's that coming from? I was like, oh, it's from over here.
Clubs on the ever-growing list of women rumored to have engaged in affairs with Woods. Some of them even did interviews on national television.
At that point, Tiger was recently married. Did you know that? Did you know he was married?
I did.
Was that something that you thought about at all?
It was a brief, I mean, it was a thought in my head, of course, because, I mean, I'm not raised to do something like I did, and I'm not saying that it's okay, but, you know, it was something that I did years ago, and I'm not saying that it's right, but, trust me, it crossed my mind.
I was so madly in love, I couldn't walk away. We would text every day, throughout the day.
How often would you see him after that initial meeting?
A few times a month. He would either come to Vegas, or he would have me come out to wherever he was playing.
Did you feel like you had a boyfriend?
Yeah, I did. You know, I stopped seeing other people. I got out of the adult business because it was something that really bothered him.
Now, why were you making these types of sacrifices and changes in your life for him?
Oh.
Did you ever...
Nobody wants to accept the downfall of Tiger Woods. That is the title. It's from Patrick CC. It's good to see you, Isaac. It's here. Nobody wants to accept the downfall of Tiger Woods by Patrick CC.
ever ask him to make any kind of changes in his life? For you?
Like,
The only thing I
Tiger really explored the whole rainbow, didn't he?
told him was, you know, just please be honest with me. You tell me that I'm the only other woman
He's
in
like,
your life besides your wife. Just don't break my trust and don't hurt my feelings.
It's like I feel like he probably has like freaking like girls in every like freaking countries, like one in Colombia, one in Ukraine. God.
Was absolutely
was
ruthless towards Tiger at this time. It's all they could talk about.
Well, here's the thing, though. She is speaking out. Who isn't speaking out? Tiger Woods. Give her some credit here. She's doing more than Tiger's doing. She's putting her face out there, and she's apologizing publicly to Mrs. Woods. And she didn't think about everything. She didn't have the power in the relationship. She didn't have the power. She's a cocktail waitress. He's a billionaire. Who had the power in the relationship? Put the blame where the blame should be. One place and one place only. And that's with Mr. Woods.
To put the media onslaught into perspective, the New York Post made Tiger's scandal the front page story for 20 days in a row.
That's right.
They
He
wrote
went out
more
like even
consecutive
a fucking
stories about
cocktail
Tiger
waitress
than the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Realizing that he could not escape this, Tiger eventually admitted to his infidelity, announcing that he would be stepping away from the game of golf indefinitely. Now, you might think that this was all blown way out of proportion, and that's a fair opinion, but you have to consider why this story was so big. Most major American sports are built around aggression and intensity, so hearing about a cheating scandal from one of those athletes might not feel that surprising. Golf, on the other hand, has always carried a much more polished and disciplined image. There is a heavy emphasis on tradition, etiquette, and order. The game is often called a gentleman's game because players are expected to enforce the rules on themselves. There aren't referees watching for your mistakes. If nobody sees you break a rule, the expectation is that you call the penalty on yourself. Honesty is crucial to ensure fair competition. Even off the course,
they really
fans
enforce that in
expected
golf?
Tiger to embody these principles. He often spoke about his love of being a father of two
No
children
refs in
and
golf.
clearly emphasized
Yeah,
the
I was like,
importance
there's
of his
actually no
family.
refs in
At
golf?
the same time, the lives of elite athletes are often built around
As
a
I would
level
just
of
trust each
obsession
other, I
that
guess.
most people will never understand. Sun up to sundown, their entire identity becomes tied to performance. For someone like
kinda
Tiger
makes
Woods,
sense.
every round, every interview, and
But it's like,
every
no
public
refs?
appearance carried enormous pressure. It's clear that he
I
was
mean, like,
using
there's
women
gotta
and
be
possibly drugs
officials.
and alcohol as an escape or
But it's
release
like
from the constant
self-reffing.
discipline. The problem for Tiger was
I
that
guess it's
his version of
self-ref,
escape
you know?
directly contradicted the image of integrity that made the world admire him in the first place, and many
They
of his
gotta have
brand deals and
something.
sponsorships fell through as a result. Gillette temporarily halted their ad campaign with the golf icon before eventually deciding to end their relationship in late 2010. Accenture, a global consultancy firm, took a hard stance against Tiger,
Right, yeah.
directly
Might as well
describing
do the
him
right
as
thing.
no longer longer the right
'cause, like, you
representative
can
for
get
their
ridiculed.
brand. Tag
That
Heuer,
is true.
AT&T, and Gatorade would follow shortly after. And now that his businesses were collapsing, he had no choice but to finally address this thing head on.
People do
Woods
cheat in
hosted
golf.
a near 15-minute press conference broadcast by ABC News where he apologized countless times for his behavior.
I stopped living by the core values that I was taught to believe in. I knew my actions were wrong, but I convinced myself that normal rules didn't apply. I never thought about who I was hurting. Instead, I thought only about myself. I ran straight through the boundaries that a married couple should live by. I thought I could get away with whatever I wanted to. I felt that I had worked hard my entire life and deserved to enjoy all the temptations around me. I felt I was
AKA, I wanted to get my dick wet.
I was wrong. I was foolish. I don't get to play by different rules. The same boundaries that apply to everyone apply to me. I brought this shame on myself. I hurt my wife, my kids, my mother, my wife's family, my friends, my foundation, and kids all around the world.
Shame on everyone.
Tiger vehemently denied the rumor that Elin bashed his rear windshield or was violent towards him in any way.
But there's one issue I really want to discuss. Some people have speculated that Elin somehow hurt or attacked me on Thanksgiving night. It angers me that people would fabricate a story like that. Elin never hit me that night or any other night. There has never been an episode of domestic violence in our marriage, ever. Elin has shown enormous grace and poise throughout this ordeal.
Despite his efforts to clarify his story, South Park still created an episode that depicts Tiger as the victim of a violent attack, with his wife chasing down the car and breaking through the rear window. The narrative and jokes surrounding Tiger's wife being violent towards him, specifically with a golf club, was too good of a scandal that people still to this day believe Elin beat Tiger with a golf club. Woods expressed on numerous occasions that he was getting treatment in the aftermath of all this, but did not specify what for, although many believe it was for his drug use.
I'm excited to get back and play. I'm excited to get to see the guys again. I really missed a
Had
lot
to
of
face
friends
my
out there.
wife,
I miss
my
competing,
man.
but still, I still have a lot more treatment to do. And just because I'm playing doesn't mean I'm going to stop going to treatment.
Tiger's apology tour was actually a massive success, and his return to golf at the 2010 Masters drew in nearly 5 million viewers.
I didn't know what to expect in regards to reception, and I tell you what, the galleries couldn't be nicer. I mean, it was just incredible, and the encouragement that I got, and it was just, it blew me away, to be honest with you, it really did.
The overwhelming majority of golf fans felt that he was a victim of a baseless media attack, and that a man as successful and famous as Tiger is almost expected to not be loyal to one woman. The golf world simply wasn't ready to just discard the person they had built the entire sport around. But after the scandal,
you know,
he
with all those
struggled
video
to get
games
his
and
game
shit.
back.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully...
Tiger Woods has a decent amount of video games out though, so it's like, yeah, they don't want to just throw them away.
And in 2011, Tiger Woods racked up a whopping 0 wins, and his injuries started piling up. Over the years, he had ruptured his ACL in his left knee and ruptured his right Achilles, but was able to continue playing with minimal surgeries. But in April of 2011, he had suffered a left MCL sprain and a strained left Achilles tendon, which was enough for him to take another hiatus. In that time, he fired his longtime caddy, Steve Williams, who worked for Woods from 1999 to 2011, winning 13 major championships.
He fired his
The
ass?
media rushed to Steve to get his insights on the cheating scandal. He spent more time with Tiger than anyone else in his life, so many assumed he knew about his escapades off the course. But Steve didn't say much.
After all of this,
I wouldn't
how
want
well
to.
do you believe you knew Tiger?
Well, not very well, obviously. I mean, that sort of goes without saying. I guess I thought I knew him well, and I didn't.
I mean, this is somebody who was the best man at your wedding, so it had to be, you know, hurtful for you on a personal level. But how did the relationship with him
Was he his
change
best man?
post-scandal?
No question.
Damn.
That, you know, that
His
that was a
caddy and his
difficult time,
he fired his caddy
you know,
and his best
our
man.
relationship obviously deteriorated very quickly. No two ways.
Wow.
And even though Steve was extremely light on his criticism of Tiger, many people felt he was out of line. Classic case of a guy who thinks he's way more important than he actually is. Just carry the bag, rake the trap, and be quiet. With a new caddy and determination to return to the top, Tiger was able to get his first win in years at the 2012 Arnold Palmer Invitational. He followed that up with a win at the 2012 Memorial Tournament, where he proved that he could still pull off legendary shots like his nearly impossible chip-in on the 16th hole. He steamrolled through 2013 with 5 more wins, returning to the #1 spot in the world rankings. It seemed like the nightmare was over, and the version of Tiger Woods people thought they had lost was finally back. But in 2014, it became clear that this wasn't the start of another dynasty, and his dominance in the game of golf would never return. In March of 2014, he started having back issues, which led to spasms. 1 month later, Woods announced that he would miss the Masters after undergoing a microdiscectomy for a pinched nerve, which had been hurting him for several months. Woods said he would return to golf sometime this summer, which he did in late June at the Quicken Loans National, but he played terrible. His play in 2015 was some of the worst of his career, with one round carding an 85, his worst score in a professional tournament.
I mean, like, you gotta get
he finished
low
off
shit.
the 2015 season with 2 back surgeries, indicating that something was seriously wrong. As a result, he would take the entirety of the 2016 season off, but in 2017, everything would take a turn for the worse. Tiger tried to make his return in January of 2017 at the Farmers Insurance Open, but missed the cut. He withdrew from the next tournament due to back spasms, which ultimately led to an announcement in of 2017 that he underwent another back surgery. When healed, I look forward to getting back to a normal life, playing with my kids, competing in professional golf, and living without the pain I've been battling so long. Just a few weeks after this announcement, reports came in that Tiger Woods had been arrested by Jupiter police for driving under the influence. He was found passed out in his car on the side of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning. His vehicle had 2 flat tires as well as damaged
are we getting to the modern
bumpers,
problems that
and
he's
arresting
having?
officers immediately knew he was
His
unfit
other
to drive.
okay.
Don't begin until I tell you to, okay?
I have never seen the video of Tiger, the DUI video and shit.
Tilt your head backwards, and you're gonna recite the entire English alphabet
Still somewhat
in a
relevant.
slow, non-rhythmic manner, meaning you're not gonna sing
Relevant.
it, okay? Do you understand the instructions? Okay, what were the instructions?
Not to sing the national anthem backwards.
Not to sing the national anthem backwards. Okay. What I want you to do when I tell you to, keep your arms down by your side and your feet together. I want you to close your eyes.
Why would sing the national anthem? Why? I mean, like, I'm gonna do the ABCs. I'm gonna do the regular DUI. Like, just give me the regular ABCs. It's like, all right, Tiger, we want you to sing the whole national anthem backwards. What?
Backwards. When I tell you to, don't begin until I tell you to. And I want you to say the alphabet from A to Z in a slow, non-rhythmic manner, okay? Meaning you're not going to sing it, okay? Do you understand the instructions? Okay, what were the instructions?
Hard pitch, A to Z.
There you go.
Non-rhythmic.
Non-rhythmic.
Tiger apologized a few days later with some added context. I want the public
Say
to
the
know that
ABC's
alcohol
just
was
not
not
in a
involved.
rhythmic.
What happened was an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications. I didn't realize the mix of medications had affected me so strongly. Even though he put his and others' lives at risk by driving under the influence.
Like, wait, so do they have to say that in, like, non-rhythmic attitude? Or, you know, it's like we don't want people to be busting out into, like, freaking, like, just into musical numbers out of nowhere and stuff. You know, that's not how the real world works.
Tiger was met with overwhelming support from his colleagues and fans. Retired professional golfer Jack Nicklaus voiced his sympathy, saying he needs our help. Many rushed to his defense, pointing out his chronic back.
Want to lose weight without losing muscle? Factor got me there. I was tired of all the cutting
that come with managing the pain. Fellow professional golfer Bill Haas said, 4 back surgeries? How can we know what that's like? Obviously, he's dealing with a lot. People jump to conclusions. A lot of them are wrong. The only golfer who actually wanted to pose a reasonable question chose to stay anonymous, because you can't criticize Tiger Woods. I think we are all worried about Tiger, but you have to ask, what was he doing at that hour? And why is he taking Vicodin? I thought he said a few days ago that he never felt better, but he's taking Vicodin? I just hope that isn't an indication of something a lot more serious. It was later revealed that Tiger had a mix of Vicodin, Dilaudid, Xanax, Ambien, and THC.
I, of course, smoke some weed. Oh my god.
see in his system, further highlighting an irresponsible usage of prescription medication. He clearly had a problem.
That is a
but many who
cocktail,
spoke
alright.
about his arrest emphasized his
Wow.
importance to the sport. I hope he plays again. The tour needs him. I hope
What
he
a
gets out of it,
cocktail.
and I hope he plays golf again. He needs a lot of support from a lot of people, and I'll be one of them. It was clear that all had been forgiven before Tiger had even managed to rectify the situation. He attended a brief intensive program, likely to deal with his still undisclosed addiction to painkillers, and once he was ready to return, he was welcomed back with open arms. Now, I'm not saying that being empathetic to someone struggling is not important. I actually encourage it, but there clearly is a level of status you can reach in this world where consequences get much softer, and the best thing that could have happened to Tiger's career and reputation took place in 2018. At 43 years old, he came back to the game with serious momentum. He competed in 18 tournaments, which is the most active he had been since 2012. He tied for second in the 2018 PGA Championship, nearly winning his 15th major, but he shocked the world when he won for the 80th time at the 2018 Tour Championship. The entire crowd swarmed him as he walked up to the 18th green, knowing they were witnessing history. This event put him back in the winner's circle for the first time since 2013, but as if this moment wasn't historic enough, he would do something even more unbelievable the following year. Tiger Woods would go on to win the 2019 Masters tournament. He had not won a major since 2008, and his previous Masters win was in 2005. The golf world was just grateful to have him back, but nobody expected him to be a major champion again. Golf fans felt extremely comfortable with Tiger back on top. His controversies did not paint the story of a messy and troubled superstar. It was about a man who overcame adversity and triumphed. With headlines reading, Tiger Woods' Masters win is a great sporting comeback story. After serious doubts, Tiger Woods completes a long road back to glory at Masters. And fans writing things like, "When he sank that putt, I cried like a baby. The Masters will always be my dad and me rooting for Tiger. It's been a long, strange trip, but welcome back, Tiger." I think he is a changed man, not just a golfer, but much more importantly as a man and father. Woods' chaotic personal life was pushed aside whenever it became an issue, but now it was a convenient plot point behind what many called a return to glory. One fan even wore a t-shirt with his mugshot on it, something that Tiger smiled at as he walked by, indicating that his troubled past was now behind him.
Oh my god, the fucking mugshot. Oh my god.
And it was something we could all laugh at. Tiger continued to build onto this narrative with his 82nd win at the 2019 Zozo Championship, tying the record for the most PGA Tour wins of all time, a record that was set by Sam Snead in 1965. It was looking like Woods was going to continue to break records and remain a contender even in his mid-40s, but this was the last time we would ever see Tiger Woods in the winner's circle. And considering his recent controversies, combined with him being 50 years old, it's almost officially over for good. Tiger didn't play much in 2020 as he was battling back pain. He was set to make his return at the 2021 Masters when he nearly died in a car accident. On February 22nd, 2021, Tiger was traveling 84 to 87 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone when he lost control, hit a curb, and then struck a tree. Investigators estimated that Tiger's vehicle impacted the tree at 75 miles per hour, at which point the vehicle flipped over and landed in some brush. There was no evidence that the golfer tried to brake, and investigators believe Woods may have inadvertently stepped on the accelerator instead of the brake pedal in a panic. He was rushed to the trauma center where he immediately underwent emergency surgery. Woods suffered comminuted open fractures in the upper and lower portions of his tibia and fibula of his right leg. It's a miracle that his injuries were not more severe, and responding officers reported that he likely would not have survived if the airbags hadn't deployed. Interestingly enough, investigators did not attempt to get warrants to get blood samples to see if he was driving under the influence, so we don't know for sure, but many speculate, due to his track record of driving infractions, that this was a result of drugs. Regardless, the severity of the situation was met with love and support for Tiger's recovery. Even if his bad habits were responsible for the wreck, it wasn't the time or place to call it out. Additionally, this was just another moment of adversary that Tiger could eventually be worshipped for overcoming. 1 year after the wreck, Tiger was honored for his accomplishments and inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame.
Playing at some of these golf courses,
I would have thought he was already in.
Allowed in the clubhouses where all the other juniors were. Color of my skin dictated that. As I got older, that drove me even more. So as I was denied access into the clubhouses, that's fine. Put my shoes on here in the parking lot. I asked two questions only. Where was the first tee and what was the course record?
Once again, we see this interesting dichotomy of Tiger's reputation on full display. The moment is all about his accomplishments, and there is no acknowledgement of the darker past during the ceremony. And while people are quick to brush away those scandals when it's actually time to talk about them, they are quick to bring them back up to drive the emotional impact of him overcoming adversity. Tiger manages to adopt all the good favor from his controversies while everyone else is desperately trying to avoid talking about them and genuinely holding him accountable. But anyone who thought his golf game would return...
It's like, you know, even though he's an athlete and, you know, whatnot, at the end of the day, this guy's still human. This guy can, you know, do fucks and smokes and drinks just like anyone else. Fucking fucks like 12
was
chicks
just
at once.
delusional. In 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, Tiger played just 13 times. None of those times was he even remotely considered to be in contention to win. In the 2024 Masters, Tiger Woods placed dead last with a total score of plus 16. At this point, he was just an ambassador of the game, showing up for the fans and his sponsors. It was clear that Tiger simply wasn't capable of competing at the highest level anymore.
His hair! His head! Oh my god. And this is a ripoff of Star Wars.
To his back and knee had clearly affected his performance in a way that made it hard to believe he was once the greatest golfer to ever live. This likely affected him on a deep mental level. His father had placed immense pressure on him to succeed, and his journey as a professional golfer was promised to be one that altered the course of humanity. Additionally, the guy just loved to compete. He wanted to beat everyone.
He had to relax some way or somehow, you know. I guess he just took a bunch of drugs and women and alcohol. Holy shit.
Every time. And now, he simply just had no chance. Tiger missed the entirety of the 2025 season, and his mother sadly passed away during that time as well. Leading up to the 2026 Masters, at age 50, the golf world was excited to see his return. But he once again got into a car accident while driving under the influence. On March 27th, 2026, Tiger Woods rolled over his SUV in a single car crash on Jupiter Island, Florida. Initially, Tiger appears to be fine, doing his best to hide the fact that he is severely intoxicated, resting on one knee to maintain his balance and composure. Momentarily, he steps away while taking a phone call, revealing he was talking to Donald Trump.
Get you to hang out down here with us, please.
Thank you so much. All right, you got it. All right, thank you. Bye.
Call Donald Trump.
Get you down here with us, please.
Yeah, I was just talking to the president.
The police were suspicious and conducted a routine sobriety test, which he failed miserably.
Place them behind your back. There you go. So at this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay? And you're under the unknown substance, okay? So at this time, you're under arrest for DUI. Yes, sir.
Once he was placed under arrest, footage of him in the back seat shows him looking extremely inebriated, nodding off, and barely able to stay awake. Opioids and benzo hiccups. Looks like me 20 years ago. Addiction doesn't care who you are. Bro could hire 10 drivers a day and still be rich. Cooked. Up until this point, all of his controversies were more open to interpretation, which usually led to him receiving a more charitable framing. But with uncut body cam footage documenting the event, the severity of his addiction was too apparent to ignore. Once an athlete reaches that Michael Jordan level of greatness, the general public almost looks at them as an institution rather than a person. They generate too much money and provide too much entertainment value for the public to comfortably let them fail. So instead of asking whether their behavior was wrong, people start searching for reasons to explain it away. People don't just want Tiger to recover, they need him to. He is too important to golf, too valuable to sponsors, and too central to the sport's identity, which is why the responses to the aftermath of his controversies are not really met with criticism. Jason Day responded with, "He's my hero. He was my hero growing up. The reason why I play golf is because of this tournament, the Masters, and Tiger. It's hard to see him go through what he's going through, and especially under the microscope, it must be hard to be who he is and have everyone look kind of down on him." Patrick Reed said, said, "Without Tiger Woods in the events, honestly, I feel it hurts the game of golf. We want them to come back and be healthy and ready to go." Friend and fellow PGA Tour pro Bubba Watson also had kind and supportive words.
From day one that we started hanging out back in 06, 07, somewhere in there, that I'm pulling for him as a human being. Forget his golf. I could care less about his golf. Anybody that's struggling with anything, I feel for him.
Tiger has a long documented history of reckless driving, and he has actively put the lives of countless people in danger as a result. It's naive to assume the only time he drove under the influence are the 4 times that he's been caught. It's more likely that this is something he does on a regular basis. These are not just simple mistakes. This is dangerous behavior that could eventually cost someone their life. Even after his prime has ended, he is still the face of golf. Nobody has come close to replicating or matching his greatness. For those financially and emotionally invested in the prosperity of professional golf, they cannot allow Tiger to become anything less than a legend. But a little bit of criticism might go a long way. Every day, about 32 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person every 44 minutes. In 2024, 11,904 people died in alcohol-impaired driving traffic deaths. These deaths were all preventable. I understand addiction is brutal, and just saying stop drinking or stop doing drugs is a massive oversimplification, but he at the very least should have a full-time driver who can safely travel him where he needs to go. There is a deep emotional tie to Tiger Woods, and many don't want to admit that their idealized version of him is not accurate. We can reasonably speculate why Tiger has never been able to recover from his addiction and continues to engage in this behavior. Tiger Woods hasn't faced any repercussions legally, and many people who have committed the same crimes as him have been jailed, fined, or at least had their license suspended. Then again, if we're being honest, he's rich enough where none of those things would truly impact him. He has also never faced any consequences or real criticism in the world of golf. The DUIs, the car crashes, and the cheating scandals are used to show his resilience and determination rather than highlight his dysfunction. Change has never been demanded of Tiger, so it's not entirely surprising that he never did. So once again, after committing another crime, he told everyone he's going to be stepping away for a while. So it seems like the cycle repeats. He will one day come back to golf, be praised for his perseverance, play terribly because he is old and cannot compete with the abundance of phenomenal young talent. It will then eat away at him, and from there we can only hope he doesn't get loaded and drive a car again, because it's hard to know how many more times he can get lucky. It seems like the world of golf is waiting until he seriously harms someone else until they have a tough conversation about Tiger Woods. But it's not impossible to overcome. Kurt Angle suffered a much more brutal addiction than Tiger, but if you want to hear that story, check out this video.
You came looking for...
Alright, that was a good video. Alright, I liked his video, like and subscribe.